Half it like him. And hello, it's Fo. Welcome back to Turbine City. Last time we were getting some zoning in to try and last us through the night. Working all the way up to this train line. Still got a bit of space we can work with. Past the train line and up to the highway. But we're doing pretty well at filling out our now 10 tile city. Got everything covered with water, but we might need some more pumps and pipes soon enough. Traffic's doing not too bad. We can break up this area a little bit more so we can get some more industrial in. Like I say, we do want, I think it's 5,000 total squares of farming industry to unlock one of our buildings, our unique buildings, so that's something we need to do. This road doesn't seem to want to be straight, but never mind, it is a farming industry, so we would expect things to be a little bit more natural rather than perfect grids. Get a couple more post offices to cover this upper area. I'll help all the industrial areas keep up with the post. We can get another sorting facility in as well. It's quite noisy, but in amongst all the industrial it'll be fine. I'm gonna get our train station in here. Help carry people from this area to the rest of the city and vice versa. We'll get hooked up to the line. It's already covered with water, but we'll get it hooked up with power. Get in a couple of unique buildings as well. I like to put unique buildings next to the stations because they're noisy anyway, and you're going to have to sort of encase them in offices or commercial. May as well have something else that's noisier as well. Maybe pop in Brandenburg gate. It's quite small. The noise isn't going to affect any of the residential guys. The courthouse is next on the list of things that we should be popping in. Get that in over here maybe. Maybe pop in some car parks for them as well. All the visitors that are gonna come along and need a place to park. If we can get this in right. We've got a couple of different car parks, so we use a couple of different ones. Something we should have been probably keeping more on top of. Giving people more spaces to park. All the people who are coming for their court cases, worried about going to prison, at least they've got somewhere close by to park. We'll put in a blimp stop, and this can be the first stop of another line. We'll make another square once we've unlocked more tiles. This can be the sort of first extension. We won't set it up as a line yet, we'll wait till we get in a couple more stops. For now we need sewage pipes most of all. So we'll get a couple of the no pollute outflow pipes in. Get them connected up. Hopefully that'll keep us going for a while. Check and make sure there's not any flooding caused by adding these things. I'll add a couple more pumps in. Again, we want to maintain that sort of ratio of pumping out more than we're putting back in, just to try and prevent the flooding. So far so good. got a few more spaces that we can pop things in along the river where the noise isn't going to bother anyone. The campus DLC stuff doesn't seem to have any sort of complaints, noise or otherwise, so it seems fine to tuck a few things in behind those buildings. A little bit more space over here, away from the noisy varsity sports stuff that we can use for residential. Just need to maintain a decent barrier of commercial for them. I do want to try and get as much residential in as possible. Obviously, if you put too much of anything else, it doesn't have the people to support it. If you put in too much commercial, then there's not enough workers. Same with industrial. If you put in too much commercial, they also run out of products and things, so striking the correct balance is kind of essential to make everything work properly. Light residential doesn't really like dense commercial, so I'll give them a little bit of a gap here. Pop in some light commercial. Across here, I think we pretty much want all commercial because we've got these two unique buildings that are making a bit of noise. The radius isn't that big for the noise pollution, but I think we're risking it if we put too much residential in here. Create a barrier on this side to try and protect from the noise coming from the TV studio. Get some paths in, just to break it up a little bit. If we come back far enough away from the noise coming from the TV studio, should be alright to get in the housing there. I think we should be fine with that sort of zoning. That should satisfy our demand for the time being. When everyone's in, that'll be this area nice and full. Get a last little pathway across here. That's that area sort of completed. Let's see, we've still got more space to work with up here, running up to the highway. We'll let these guys build in. We're still not quite making enough paper, so add in a couple more paper producing processing factories. And a couple of more fields. It's leveling up there to level 4, so they're doing fine as a business, just not quite what we want them to do, which is produce loads and loads of paper. But we'll see how it goes. They're almost all up to 5 stars now. We've got 2 at 5 and 2 at 4. We've got 3 out of the 4 unique factories going. Maybe try moving this stuff all around again, because they don't seem to be speaking to each other. See if we can get that last one working. That's been the main aim for the last wee while, is getting all the industry stuff working properly. I'll add in a few more storage items. See if that helps, if we can maybe put a few things in amongst everything else. Maybe the pumps need to go to the storage, then the storage needs to go to the processing. And having them right next to each other isn't helping, I don't know. We'll See if we can get this smaller area working a little bit better. And if we can get all the unique factories working properly, I can be done with the industry stuff. And then I can focus on getting the Sarah Trail leveled up. And that'll be all the park life stuff done. After that I can focus more on some of the things we haven't looked at yet. Because we've recently got the overground ability for the metro, I want to get that in at some point. We'll get some areas drawn in so we can get some zoned industry products. Like I say, we want the largest one for farming, because we have a building that we need to unlock by getting the farming squares up. So we'll make that area the biggest. It's another balance that we need to strike between the different types of industrial stuff we've got going on. If we put too much farming industry rather than just generic industry, I'm sure our shops will all run out of goods soon enough. I don't think we need to worry too much about the ore or the forestry. Got this area named Princess area. Same with this one. We'll get this renamed to the Marco drilling area. It's one of my mates I've not seen for a long time. And Rosewood Square, we'll get that changed to Marco Square, just so everything matches up. The ore industry, call that the sandy ore industry. It's one of my mates I've also not seen in just as long. Someone else, my mate Styly, I've not seen him in just as long. He can run the forestry area, that seems fine. He was into botany back in the day, so it's quite fitting. Get this matching up, the Princess District. That's all the renaming we need to do. So we start popping in little bits of industrial. Oh, we've actually leveled up. We've actually made it to 2 stars. It's taken long enough, hasn't it? I'll add a couple more squares of industrial in here. This will all be oil specific industries that come in. See if that helps get everything working properly. Then we can finally go and look at our university area. Add in those extra buildings. I don't think level 2 gives us any of the really big buildings, so I don't think we need to worry about that. I think it should be easy for us to sort of pop everything in. So we'll get a few squares of farming industry in here. Get in a couple of little roads to help break up the space. Maybe just do this block for just now. So we'll get it all zoned as industrial. That'll all come through as farms. That'll help us get towards that 5,000 square target. We'll pop in warehouses. We'll set them to the zoned industry products. This one for farming. Do the same thing over in our oil industry as well. We'll just fit it in where we can. And get that one set up to oil. The outdoor study would be really nice on the riverside. As long as it's away from the pumps and everything, I'm sure they'll be able to concentrate. In my city we have an area that's quite similar. It's a big park that has student halls over on one side and a river on the other, and people going fishing and stuff. It's nice. We'll we'll get an extra gym in for these guys, for our varsity sports guys. See if they can become rivals with our other campus. Me and Dean Boy on the sidelines shouting at each other as the teams battle it out. That could be fun. We're just going to save some space. Use a path over here. That way we can get some of the buildings in and around it. Can maybe get a couple of dorms along the back. And having one in the middle. I'm going to de-zone the commercial on this street, just to give us a little bit more room. Then move this one along, so I can fit another one in on the other side. Might be able to get something in the middle as well. Check with a little groundskeeping or something. Looks like it's just not quite big enough a gap. Oh well, never mind. So yeah, we'll give them a second gym, so they're extra fit, ready to win all those varsity sports matches. And give them another cafeteria over here as well. Make sure they're all well fed. Where we've popped in our unique buildings, we're going to have a little tourist area. And to match up, because we need entertainment squares as well, where our warehouses are, and there's noise being generated, we'll sort of encase that area with a little bit commercial that specialises in entertainment, keep our people happy. Gonna get the lungs of the city in, that's the next thing on the list. Just to make this area more special. Get a singer building in as well. Give people all the reasons to come here, you know. We're getting some death care, we can get some more services in here as well. We're gonna have hotels and things, we probably want an extra police station. A train station as well. Probably want all that things policed quite well. The population growth is pretty steady. Hopefully if we keep putting in elder cares and child cares and these fitness and well-being buildings, hopefully that'll keep people flooding in. We've got 9 sick citizens. Maybe have to have a look at the noise at some point. See if there's any areas that are particularly badly affected by the noise pollution. Maybe do a bit of remodeling. It's just gone down to 8, so we'll see if it gets better or worse, I suppose. See how it goes. I reckon all this street is going to be far enough away from everything else to put in houses. Leave a couple of gaps for the roads that we're going to have come off. Sure, it won't be long before we're unlocking more tiles to expand out again. In the meantime, we'll work with what we've got, get it all filled out and zoned. Hopefully we can get the power connected across to these little buildings that are isolated and connected up to the rest of the city when everything gets zoned in. It's time to get more power stations in. We'll add in a few in our industrial areas where they're relatively out of the way. We can maybe add something else in here rather than waiting for the zoning to carry the power throughout. Maybe get a park in. That can raise the value of the land and make people happy. Most importantly, hopefully carry the power across. Get everything hooked up. We'll go ahead and finish off getting things zoned in around here. Hopefully the power is going to sort itself out. So the noise pollution from the courthouse isn't that bad. Keep the residential fairly close. Again, the warehouses aren't that noisy, so yeah, the noise pollution guide, very handy for zoning, to make sure people aren't going to get sick. You can use this to diagnose where it is making people sick as well. If I end up waiting for this power to connect, I'm just going to put an underground power cable there. Sure, when we come back, we'll pop in small roads, we can get it out of the way then. Just gonna break up this area a little bit more so we're more efficient with the space. Get some more low density stuff in as well. Make sure there's a mix of housing for people. Try and get some more interesting shapes with our small roads. Slightly more interesting neighbourhoods. Maybe don't need so many junctions. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Adds a bit of variety to our otherwise very gridded system. Maybe over in the Ivy district as well, over here. We want to break it up a little bit. We haven't really left ourselves any space for a buffer zone between the entertainment stuff and the houses. Ideally we'd have the warehouses and then a small amount of entertainment buildings, then some normal commercial stuff, and then our houses with a little bit of distance, you know. So we'll see if we can get some smaller roads in, get it a bit broken up, see what we're working with space wise, try and get it set up like that. So we'll get in a bit more residential just to fill up this area. Then we can go in, get those small roads in. It'll give us a guideline to reduce our entertainment area down a little bit. Get that trimmed down, give us space for a buffer. We'll do the same with our tourist area, just to make sure that we've got a nice healthy gap where we can put normal zoning in between the noisy stuff in our houses. Still got plenty of space to work with. I reckon we'll get up to the 250,000 before we need to worry about getting any new tiles. Can always go across the road over the other side of the highway as well. Got a couple more car parks in. Since we've got quite a few different things here. In Traffic Manager, there's a way you can set up realistic parking where they rely more heavily on the car parking spaces rather than just despawning. They sort of put their car in their pocket when they get to their house and they turn from a car into a person, like Michael Jackson in Moonwalker. At some point, if we get Traffic Manager on the go, we can have a look at that, get that turned on. Post office in, where it's going to be noisy anyway. Make sure that it's surrounded by commercial. And we can fill the rest of this in. We'll give them enough to keep them going for a while. Pretty much running out of time, so just get this filled in and then we'll be off. We'll come back in the next one, pick up where we left off. Until then, take it easy, stay safe. I'll see you in the next one.